Happy Thursday. Thank you for joining us. I'm Keith Tebow from FRC Media. And as we do every Thursday morning, we check in with the mayor of the city of Fall River, Mayor Paul Coogan. Mayor, how are you today?
Doing fine, Keith. What's up?
Staying ahead of the heat, I hope.
For sure.
That's all we can do. All right. Actually, I want to start with some great news that was launched yesterday. It was the official groundbreaking of the City Pier on the waterfront. And for many of us who have been in Fall River for any amount of time, you've probably heard about the city's plans to develop that pier and to create another great space for people to enjoy on the waterfront. And yesterday, the city took one step closer, and it looks like it's going to be a reality as early as next year, right?
Yeah, I think construction will start maybe the week of Labor Day week. I think that's what I was told yesterday. And again, it's another step in the right direction. Something's moving down there. I got to thank the RDA for their tireless work and everybody that you saw yesterday, from the federal to the state delegations that worked hard to get that done. And we're getting ready to finish that up, so there'll be a place where people can enjoy the sunsets and the water. There is. I did see some chatter about building on it, and that's still not allowed. That's one of the reasons why we are going with the plan we have, because we're allowed to do certain things that the EPA tells us we can do with that property, and we're going to maximize that with some grassy spaces, a stage. There'll be floating boat docks. That would be like the next phase, like you see at the Cove restaurant, so boats can tie up and people can come up on the pier. It's really going to be an asset. There'll be a loop to walk around the entire area and continue for all the walkers we have down there every day. It's really going to be an asset, and it's something everybody should be very proud of in Fall River.
And we hear a lot, and people want things to happen right away. And obviously, this took some time. There were some environmental issues there that the city had to face. And we heard a long time about South Coast Rail. That's being built as we speak. Last week, the plans came out about Route 79 and what's going to be happening with the depression of that roadway there. So it seems like everything is coming together all at once. And I know within the next few years, that waterfront has the potential to really be an economic driver, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I was with the lieutenant governor yesterday. We did a tour with Durfee in the morning, and then I asked her to stop with me and look at some other property on the way down to the City Pier, which we have also have our eyes on. And she was nice enough to do that with me. So we're looking to coordinate that entire stretch from Commonwealth Landing to the Big Mamie, so that it's all used for recreation or for our citizens to enjoy. We don't want dead spaces and gaps. We're thinking restaurant, maybe here and there, and maybe some kind of a boat dockage area where we can bring in some day cruise ships or some regular small cruise ships like we've been offered. We just need some more space, and we're just going to keep going. I mean, I think if we can get this all wrapped up, um, I don't like to talk about, you know, myself and make it sound like we're doing it, but we are really pushing to get these things finalized. I mean, obviously the rail, 79, the pier, they were all well underway, but we just make sure that this administration, we try to keep things moving, and that's our role in this. Let's not have lag time. Let's see if we can keep going on stuff, and it looks like it's all coming together. There's some other things going to be going on the waterfront, but right now those are the things we can talk about.
Yeah. Shifting now to the latest on the pandemic, the Board of Health this week issued an advisory, which is, by and large, a recommendation that the CDC provided, that they're strongly urging people to wear masks indoors within the city of Fall River. Of course, the entire state of Massachusetts now is at a higher level of COVID infections. Have you made any decisions in terms of, city-controlled buildings? Are there going to be any extra provisions in terms of mandates for masks based on the Board of Health's advisory this week?
We were running about 20 cases a day, and I think down at the peak, up at the peak back in January and February, we were almost 200 cases a day. We are monitoring it. We're keeping an eye on it. I do talk to Tess all the time. I'm just waiting to see what happens. I do see, seems like the schools are going to go back fully masked, so we'll play it by ear. But that's all well and good, but we need people in Florida to get the vaccine. That's where we need to focus. I mean, the masks are a preventive measure. Uh, I support it 100% when we're all doing it, but we need people vaccinated. And I ducked by Ruggles Park last night shortly after 7, and they had a vaccination site going there, and they had only vaccinated 3 or 4 people. We need people to go out, get the vaccine, and let's get this behind us. Now there's a lot of talk about boosters, and if that's what we need to do, that's what we need to do, because this scourge has cost us almost 18,000 lives in Massachusetts, and we have to get this behind us.
Yeah. Have you heard people who may have been reluctant in the past, now that the FDA this week also approved Pfizer, 100% approved, that they may be shifting their thoughts, or do you think people have still pretty much made up their minds unless
I think
something unfortunate were to
I
come up?
think that's going to be a plus. I know that was one of the things I would hear. It's an experimental vaccine. I'm not taking an experiment, and it's now that it's approved. I guess that comment's off the table for a little while. So hopefully people will, take it serious, get themselves vaccinated, and let's get back to being the being what we were before.
Yeah. You mentioned, of course, that the state, the commissioner of secondary, elementary and secondary education, Commissioner Riley, got a board vote this week to allow him to issue a mask mandate for K through 12 schools. He has done that. So schools here in Fall River will be students and staff will be wearing masks for at least a month, and then it comes down to the rate of vaccination and other factors. Are you supportive of that move?
Yeah, obviously we support what the DESC rules. They're looking, and again, I think that that's the way to go. I don't think a piecemeal approach, city or town by town, is the way to do things. I think it should be something for everybody, so it's consistent. I know they put it in only till October 1 to see what happens with the numbers. And again, you know, if people are all vaccinated, I gotta believe the numbers will start to shift downward, which is what we want. And then if we have to wear masks to start the school year, let's go. But I do most assuredly want the kids in school. I think that's important also. I don't want to think about the long-term impact of all the time we lost in education last year for the 15 or 16 months or whatever it was we wrestled with this disease.
Yeah. All right, and moving forward, of course, school starts next week. Public schools on Wednesday. It's going to be an exciting time. I know we hope to catch up with a number of people on Wednesday. Are you looking forward to going to those schools and giving thumbs up to kids as they get into classes next week?
Well, yeah, we'll be out there in the morning. I do it every year. I've done it probably the last, I don't know, seems like 5, 6 years, but we will be out there. It's important to show the kids we support them, and the staff, and the parents, and we're going to be out there on the front lines with them, greeting them as they come in, and obviously touching base with them, and make sure everybody's ready to get a in-person education.
In the meantime, a couple of family events still on tap before school starts next week, coming up this weekend. I believe there's another movie time at Durfee High School this Friday. Tickets still available for that?
Yes, there are. Obviously, just show up. We'll be there. I was driving around last night about 7:30. It seems like it's getting dark, so 7:30, quarter of 8. The movie Black Panther. We'd love to see you. We have obviously some extra events will also be incorporated. So come on by and enjoy an evening at a drive-in in the auditorium parking lot at Durfee.
And one final event, again, mainly, sort of tied into the beginning of school. There's going to be a big school block party, if you will, at Kennedy Park. That's going to be Saturday, I believe.
Right.
And the weather's supposed to be a little cooler on Saturday, so it should be a good time to get people together
Right.
at
I think we
Kennedy.
have like 300 backpacks to give out. The basketball tournament, the cornhole tournament, a bunch of vendors, some music, some games. It's going to be a good time, and hopefully we'll see everybody at Kennedy Park after 12.
All right, sounds good. Mayor Coogan, as always, have a great weekend. We'll talk next week. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, Keith.
All right, and thank you for joining us as always this Thursday on FRC Media. Have a great weekend.